The first bell for Amapiano has hit.
On the 12th of July 2023, Sway Lee would post a seemingly innocuous tweet.
But there it was. The mistake, subtle, yet glaring, was the vile betrayal of a species known only as...
Specifically South African Black Twitter.
After the incident, I felt that it was finally time to explain what I mean when I've been going on about Amapiano Is Dead.
I've been seeing the movement and the trajectory of piano since 2022, with many signs pointing towards its eventual downfall. Let's set the scene. It's 2017. Casper Nyovest has released his most successful album to date, Tutu, while gearing up to fill up the biggest stadium in Africa, FNB. Nasty C signs to Mabala Noise, drops NDA, and starts the Iverson tour. A Reese leaves Ambitious, drops Feelings, and starts a monumental run with the Wrecking Crew. And Questa wins 6 Sama Awards because of his crazy Dakar 2 run. My man, SA Hip Hop was up.
Guess what I would say? Bruh, it's over. It's melt. Shut your bitch.
Pity I didn't have a YouTube channel back then. So everything eventually came to pass as I predicted. Another genre, Amapiano, eventually took over the South African market, and in 2023, Amapiano is now in the same boat. When Amapiano started, you had the first few acts with hit singles emerging. MFR Soul, Hori and Kabza, Shasha, and of course Focalistic, just to name a few. Focalistic is an interesting one because he started off doing rap and hip hop during its prime, getting plays on Slicker on Live, and even at some point securing a song with Gigi Lemaine. As he made his rise within the industry, he would team up with producers such as Vigro D. Foco would then switch lanes into a new genre called Amapiano.
One of Focalistic's main draws when he makes music is his references to other songs or music, even when he was doing hip hop. Take for instance the song that he has with Casper.
Why does she love me? I will never know.
How about Kista?
Yo, 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 yo. Tiki tiki yo, tiki tiki yo, tiki tiki yo.
Oh, and by the way,
yo, 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 yo. Tiki tiki yo, tiki tiki yo, tiki tiki yo.
go play my music video after this. Anyway,
Focalistic has been known to do this in almost all of his songs since his rise. So why do these tweets exist in 2023? In 2018, when he was doing it, it was celebrated. In 2023, he's being dragged online and even trending for it. Why would people have an issue with this 5 years later only? The answer?
the well is drying up. Subconsciously, people can tell that for some reason, artists aren't able to profit off of the music as it was in 2018. Focalistic, borrowing some smaller genres within piano was okay because money was falling from everywhere in piano back then. So many new acts were popping up, including former rappers. And the genre was feeding so many people and creating so many stars. In 2023, we're seeing only 1 or 2 new acts coming out, with the last 2 big acts coming out being Dos and Robot Boy.
The hit songs coming out now are only from established acts. It's becoming harder and harder to penetrate the Amapiano market.
Take for instance the biggest song out right now. This is partly because of the industry. In fact, watch my last video, like the last one that I just made. I hate Pretoria rap, to understand what I mean. But simply put,
The industry is shaping the culture instead of the genre itself. Now, only established artists are being booked. The money isn't flying everywhere as it used to be. I wonder why.
If you got a mission, ask the nigga what's the word, ayy. Word, ayy. If you got a situation, go and send the word, ayy. Word, ayy. Left, right, down, up, hit him with the word, ayy. Word, word.
Living for the weekend. Did you see what I did there? Icon, weekend, whatever.
That's what Amapiano in South Africa is.
Let me tell you a little story. One of my favorite artists of all time, Fibo, 50 Cent. In 1999, 50 Cent is from South Jamaica, Queens, and is known as a ruthless street hustler selling crack during the crack epidemic. Signed to Columbia, drops a song called How to Rob, which takes the New York industry back since the death of Tupac and Biggie was still so fresh. And here he was naming other rappers and saying that he was going to rob them. He drops a B-side of the song called Ghetto Quran, which after snitching rumors and a budding jaw rule beef, gets him shot 9 times. After recovering and working really hard, he drops diss tracks against his shooters on a mixtape. Back then, only DJs were dropping mixtapes. He made this his own, starting a trend. He signs one of the most iconic deals with Eminem and Dr. Dre, making him the biggest artist of 2003 and having the highest debut hip-hop album first week sales of all time. He was the first gangster rapper talking about really being outside, where most of these new rappers got it from.
Everything that I'm saying right now can be found in his lyrics.
Let me tell you another story. Casper Nyovest moves from a rough neighborhood in Mufftown, Northwest to Johannesburg after dropping out of grade 10 in high school at the age of 16. With the backing of his mentor, Double HP, Casper learns the ins and outs of the industry in South Africa but was unable to break the market for 10 years. He drops Gusheshe, marking the arrival of one of the first hip-hop Kasi icons. His next single, Dog Shebeleza, is by far the biggest hip-hop song in SA till date. He names his album Tulufelo after his sister because she borrowed him 100 rand to move to Johannesburg to chase his dreams. His album would spark the flame from SA music to start selling big numbers again, and he would go on to have one of the most illustrious careers in South Africa, at the top of the game for a long time.
All that I've just said can be found in his lyrics.
Why am I telling you these stories?
Because these stories are what make icons. These stories are the foundation of making long-lasting. Please give me an artist from the Amapiano genre that has the same kind of compelling story. I'll wait. Don't really have one, right? Why? Because Amapiano in South Africa is only living for the weekend.
You see, I brought it back now. Whatever. With the exception of one or two songs in the industry, Amapiano has no real substance. At least no icon has brought Amapiano music substance.
That's what makes a genre interesting beyond the sound. Look, I have a whole video, Why Everybody Hates Kwaito, explaining why a story is important. Go check it out, I really mean it. I drop a lot of jewels in that video.
This part is a bit shorter. One of the longest lasting hit making genres in the world is hip hop. Why? Hip hop has been able to morph its sound because hip hop was never bound by the norm. Listening to a song in the 1980s,
you are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
and another one in 2003. Would you guys even believe that this is actually the same genre?
Well, that's exactly the reason why rap has lasted as long as it did. The people were the main dictators of what hip-hop should sound like, not the industry.
Amapiano needs to be willing to grow and evolve.
Sometimes, someone may have a piano song that doesn't sound like what's hot on radio. Subgenres and small circles within those genres can make huge impacts on how the genre is perceived and eventually moves it forward.
Trap music was a subgenre in hip-hop until it became the genre, and it sounds nothing like the boom bap that came before it. If this doesn't happen, then another culture will just take Amapiano and make it their own. Would you believe that French Montana song Unforgettable is regarded as a hip-hop song? Or what about Drake's One Dance? Kwaito was
huge, guys.
Trust me, I was a bit young, but I remember how big Kwaito was. In fact, when it came out, the hunger for this new sound was real. Back then, there was no social media, so it was harder to procure the music. You had to get a cousin who knew someone who had a dealer who had to ask his boss to get the new music. It wasn't just available. So you can imagine the hype for this new genre when it was coming up. Everybody wanted it. My man, a whole radio station was started because of it. YFM was actually the birth child of Kwaito because the city needed to hear all the new songs from the different artists everywhere. YFM was the 90s TikTok. New artists were being made everywhere. Arthur Mafukate, Mduma Simbe, Masilela, Bumshaka, Doc Shebeleza, Chisco, P.O.P. When TKZ came out with Palafara, Okay. Kwaito was so big. Benny McCarthy had a Kwaito song. The coach for Manchester United had a Kwaito song. Even Jabupule, guys.
Y'all remember Jabupule, right?
Kwaito was huge.
Does any of this sound familiar? In fact, if social media was around back then, Kwaito would have crossed borders.
In 2011, YFM, a radio station built from Kwaito, announced that they would be removing the Kwaito charts from its charts and replacing it with dubstep.
Stop it. Get some help.
There hasn't been a big Kwaito album since Big Naz's first album in 2008, and Kwaito is now a relic of the past. Kwaito suffered from most of what I've spoken about in this video, specifically the part about the sound.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't want Amapiano to die in SA. In fact, I really would like for it to be monumental, to stay relevant for years to come, and not to be assimilated into other genres. We need to fix the current issues with the genre right now. Start choosing stories rather than just weekend songs only, and also allow other versions of the genre to shine within South Africa. And trust me, the fans will follow. Which brings me to shamelessly plugging my Amapiano song that I made. Look, it's nothing like the other Amapiano songs that you hear on radio right now. I'm even thinking of calling it Ibase or Guayano. Anyway, the name of the song is called Maporisa's Freestyle. It's right here on the screen. Click it because you like it. And then also subscribe.